you mentioned that you guys call yourself a campus for entrepreneurs. How long did you guys kind of work on figuring out what the brand was around that? Because I think a lot of so whenever governments start getting involved in
Yeah.
buzzwords, you have to worry about things. So incubators are now accelerators. Are
Right.
they co-working spaces? Is there investments in it? How did you guys come up with the whole campus piece? And how do you kind of, when someone comes in and thinks that you guys are one thing instead of another thing, how do you guys kind of deal with that?
That's a great question, and I'll be transparent. I mean, we are doing this very imperfectly. Like, I'm not even sure Campus for Entrepreneurs is really a good descriptor, but it's what we arrived at,
Sure.
and sort of backed into it. What we were doing was like laying out on a table. Here are all the resources we provide entrepreneurs. We have space, we have accelerator programs, we have investors in the space, we have mentors, blah 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 blah. But we also have like our state's largest coding school based in our location. We have a
What's that called?
media that's called Iron Yard.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We have a media arm that covers North Carolina startups and writes about them. And we started talking this through with some people, and they were just like, you're in an academic area. People understand what a campus is, and this idea of like you go there and you get access to all of these things. It's not like you just go and get your biology class. You're
Yeah.
also having your horizons broaden. And so that's where we ended up with this notion of like, there are all these different resources you can access as an entrepreneur. It's at your fingertips. You got a chance to plug in and connect with really good resources that we bring together for you rather than you having to run around all over the region.
Very cool. I think it's kind of similar to what you were saying about leverage the word Google when
Yep.
your companies are doing it. A campus is a word that people do. Things that we've
Right.
done in our world is we've said things like we're a gym for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Um, I like to think of us not really as a physical space. We're actually moving completely out of a physical space and trying to go
Oh,
completely digital.
interesting.
Um, and so sometimes we use things like Netflix for because everyone knows that Netflix. There's a
That's
lot of opportunities there.
right.
Um, it's so when we started, we were really just a traditional kind of Techstar style accelerator. We
Yep.
invested in 13 companies, and then we just happened to have a big space. But we've always been around the kind of educational piece, and people are always like, "Oh, you're a co-working space. Oh, you're an incubator." I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
But people would come in and be like, "Hey, I want to rent space," and I'm like, uh, "You can't really rent space here.
Yeah.
There are really far companies that we invested in, and so, we're going to test something out where what happens if we don't have a space. And as we start working with different cities across the country too, I think it allows us to be more nimble and to travel
Yeah.
to those places and do stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens, I guess. But
That's cool. I like it.